Oregon and USC is the game of Week 13. USC obviously going to Autzen. What's not being talked about enough, though, in this game? We already did our preview, our prediction, our breakdown, but what is maybe being under-talked about nationally over the course of this week? I'm glad you asked. What's not being said nearly enough is how good Oregon's secondary is. Oregon secondary's numbers for you. Number 1 in America in terms of yards per pass allowed. Number 1 in America in terms of pass yards a game allowed. Number 2 in America when it comes to completion percentage allowed. They are different on the back end. Now, why is that important? Well, look at USC. That's USC's strength. Jayden Maiava has a special place in my heart because of his gunslinger ability and the way he pushes the football downfield. Whether interceptions don't really rattle him at all. Mekhi Lemon, I think, has a case to be the best wide receiver in college football, as does Jacoby Lane in his own right. Those two dudes are your best players for USC that you're counting on making a very large impact on this game. So what's not being said, again, Oregon, if they can take that away, it might come down to what King Miller can do for USC. It might come down to the trenches. And it's funny because like USC over the course of the last couple of years, everyone's questioning the toughness of Lincoln Riley. Hey, is USC tough enough to hang in the Big Ten? We're about to find out here because Oregon, they're good up front as well. And so USC, if you can win this game in Autzen, you can do it running the football, we got to look at USC in a different light here in the context of what they could be as a college football playoff team when they get into that dance. But Oregon, if you can take away USC's strength offensively, and that's how you win the game, you're going to have a lot of swagger walking into some of these games in the college football playoff when it comes to maybe a rematch with Ohio State, maybe a rematch with Indiana, teams that are pretty elite at throwing the football downfield. You'll feel better about what you are in the back end because you got it verified by beating a good USC passing attack with all the things I mentioned they have there. Now, for USC, what's not being talked about nearly enough for them, defensively, man, they can rush the passer. They are top 15 in America when it comes to their sack rate. We talked about that a couple of times during the preview for this game. And I don't think the goal here, when you're watching this front seven for Danton Lynn, and you're watching Jakeem Stewart get after it and watching them fly off the edge with all the different speed they have, like I don't think it's about dominating this game up front for USC when it comes to getting after Dante Moore. I don't. I think it's about, can you be annoying against Dante Moore? Can you just rattle his cage a little bit and get him off his spot and speed him up? Because that's really what Indiana did. Now, Indiana also, to be fair, they beat Oregon by doing a both-and kind of part of this equation. They annoyed Dante Moore, and they got him on the ground to the tune of 6 sacks. But USC, we can talk about how good they are on the back end of this defense. Maybe they're not a finished product just yet regarding what Danton Lynn expects of that defense, but they take the football away now. So the formula of annoy Dante Moore, get him off his spot, speed up his decision-making process, turnovers happen, extra possessions for Jayden Maiava. We're not talking nearly enough about the USC defense going into this game. And I understand where that's coming from because of all the things about USC we've thought previously with, again, Lincoln Riley, soft defense, not a great physical outfit as USC. If they can win this game, if they can do it on the defensive side, we got to reinvent our thought around USC in the trenches here going forward. So not being talked about nearly enough how good Oregon's secondary is, not being talked about nearly enough the potential for USC's front seven to get after Dante Moore and maybe recreate a version of what Indiana did when they went to Autzen a couple of weeks ago. Can't wait for that one. Going to be phenomenal. College game day, the works, man. We will be dialed into that one, obviously, from our Roku arena at home. But a couple of things that's not being talked about nearly enough in that game.